Man, we were duped. We were duped as fans from AJ Styles. Now we got a lot of smart fans out there that are like, oh, we seen it. We seen this a mile away. We could smell it coming up the elevator. Well, that segment alone, AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes, I mean, that is classic 101 wrestling storytelling. Old of the hills, right? It's been done many times, right? And everybody points to the Mark Henry. Mark Henry, I'm retiring. And snap of the fingers, he's a bad mofo. He's a bad man. He ain't going anywhere. So, similar to that. And I got to say, man, it was still a hell of a job. Great to, tease people. And there's some things I did question. There were some things I did question. If they're gonna tease or treat it like a retirement, add a little bit more stuff to it, a little bit more details throughout the show. I'll explain to it shortly. So they've been showing, or at least teasing the top of the show, that AJ Styles is gonna be on the show to discuss his future within the WWE, right? So I love the graphics, man. They have the graphics of AJ Styles throughout all these years, the very young AJ Styles, all the way up to now. That was pretty cool. AJ Styles backstage talking to all the superstars, shaking hands. He's been friends with for a long time. Treating like it's a retirement. But there's some things I would have added on this whole journey leading up to the very end of Smackdown. All right? Hear me out on this. And one thing is, TNA is working with NXT. Still the WWE, right? So they have their phone number. They know the drill. TNA has been a big history of AJ Styles, right? AJ Styles has been part of the TNA history for a long ass time. So there's a lot of footage out there. There's a lot of TNA footage out there that they could utilize and use in the WWE. So there's another thing they could have done to make it feel more real, more special, that you knew this could be a legit retirement. That was one thing they did as well. And there was another one I forgot to jot down. I remember I told myself, man, you knew it's not official retirement because I don't know. It was the top of my head, and I'm drawing a blank here. But you kind of get the gist here. So they're leading their way up to this big ending of Smackdown. So we had, there's another thing. So Corey Graves said during the segment, where he said, Nick Aldis gave him a title shot. I'm sorry, I'm paraphrasing here. AJ Styles requested a title shot again, and Nick Aldis told him to get back at the line, and that was a week ago. You're gonna tell me it takes someone a week just because he can't get a title shot? I'm going to retire. It's the WWE. I'm not going to get a title shot. I retire. Do you really think someone retires? Someone who's been working at Walmart. Someone that's been working at Amazon for almost 30 years. It takes like a year to planning, a couple of years to plan your retirement. But you had a full week to reflect because you didn't get a title shot. Maybe I'm going to retire. You think that's a little sketchy? Like, why would you get, man, I didn't get a promotion as the general manager. I don't think I'm going to retire next week. It's just very interesting, man. Just how the way they put it there. Just shit like that you think you put together. But anyway, that's just me. But what interesting is they led it up to the very end of the show. Now, leading up to AJ Styles heading to the ring, he brought out the Good Brothers, right? Not Keenan and Kel, not the Hamburger Brothers from Nickelodeon. I'm talking about Gallows and Anderson, right? The tag team, Too Sweet. They came out with AJ Styles, but AJ Styles confronted Cody Rhodes. He hugged him. He whispered to Cody Rhodes. Seemed like this whole whispering thing with Cody Rhodes has been a hot thing lately. Man, what they're talking about. So AJ Styles mentioned to Cody. He whispered something. He hugged him. That's it. AJ Styles came out. He cut a great promo, right? Teasing the crowd. You know what, man? I'm getting up in age. I'm not sure if I want to be back at the line again for the Netherworld title shot. You know, I'm missing a lot of graduations. I'm missing a lot of birthdays. It's time for me to be a father. And he was hugging the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, who were all dressed up in black shirts and black pants. You know, they were dressing up. They're going to a funeral. And then you also had AJ Styles dressed up nice and spiffy in his awesome suit, of course. And, you know, they got the crowd emotional. And, you know, you're like, okay, where they're going to go here with. So, AJ Styles, like, you know what? Before we end this here, let's bring out Cody Rhodes. So, Cody Rhodes came out. And Cody Rhodes said his nice pleasantries, of course. And they had a happy ending. Both guys hugged each other. They shook hands. And here's where things got interesting. Both guys put their arms in the air, waving to the crowd, celebrating. They had a couple laps around the ring. And then, boom. AJ Styles wipes out Cody Rhodes. Boom. And the crowd was like, ah, shit. And there we go, AJ Styles, full on heel. He ain't going anywhere. Fooled you, damn it. He fooled us again. And wiping out Cody Rhodes. But yet better, took him out of the ring and gave Cody Rhodes the Styles Clash outside of the floor of the ring to end Smackdown. Wow, what an ending. What an ending to end Smackdown. Now the question is, what's next for AJ Styles? What's next for Cody Rhodes? What's interesting is, I talked about this in a previous episode. WWE has a house show here in Illinois, Bloomington, Illinois, coming up in a couple weeks in June. There's going to be a title shot between Cody and AJ Styles in Bloomington, Illinois. Incredible. So it made you think what they're going to do here. There's going to be a storyline here. Is AJ's going to join the bloodline? Is AJ going to go full on heel with the Good Brother? We don't know how this is going to play out. It's going to be interesting. And I want to see your guys' thoughts right here on YouTube, TikTok, or maybe if you listen on the podcast land, into the Square Circle Podcast, of course, at gmail.com. Let me know your guys' thoughts about this segment on SmackDown and what your thoughts could be the future of AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes.